Hello students, this is your teacher Dr. Shubhalakshmi Sengupta, scientist in the Division of Chemistry, Department of Sciences and Humanities, Vignan's Foundation for Science, Technology and Research. This is the first video lecture for the course Environmental Studies. In this video, you will be introduced to the subject, the general course, and also a few topics of the Unit 1. So going on to the next slides, this is actually depicting the nature which we have and what we as human beings are making it to be. So going into this video, you can see the lush green fields, the green leaves and the dense jungle, which are the lungs of this earth. But we dive into the greenery, in the beauty and the aesthetics. Coming to the shores, the blue coastline, the pristine seas, which are one of the important ecosystems of this planet, and the forests and the jungles. But now let's go on to the next video. Here you can get a glimpse of what we are actually making this. This you can see a person is just cutting down the trees, but this is of a grave concern because this is the hallmark of deforestation and we are doing this regularly. Trees are being felled, forests are being cleared for one purpose, for development of industries, for building new places for human beings to settle down. So in a sense, this lush greenery is actually in danger, and these all activities are also result in the forest fires. Now what we are doing after clearing the greeneries, we are actually setting up urban centers, and this is close to our homes, that is in our country. This is the scenery of Delhi, which we can see here. The smog, the toxic air and the pollution, and this city is becoming unhealthy day by day for its inhabitants. So what are we making this planet Earth to be? We were doing the development so that we can stay well, but in place we are living in a toxic environment. So now coming to another video. This, as you saw in the first video, this is the seas, and not only the sea, it is a home to millions of aquatic animals. But all our waste, everything goes from the rivers, from the streams to the seas. And where do they land? They land up like this. This is a spot in the Atlantic which is now being filled by all plastic waste. You can hardly imagine this is a sea. And just think about the condition of the animals living in there. So this has become nothing short of the dump yard. This is closer home. This is our holy river Ganges. And what we are doing it, we are throwing every other effluent, every other garbage onto its shores and onto its banks. So this is what leading into the pollution of the rivers, and these pollution will end up in the sea, making it look like the one we saw in the previous video. So the pristine waters will not be the same anymore. So now these videos will give you a glimpse of why it is very much urgent to know about our environment, to know about the knowledge we require to preserve it and protect it, so that it's not that we are just protecting the environment, we are here to protect ourselves. So firstly, you will be given an introduction to the concept of environment. What is the importance of studying this course? The multidisciplinary approach we associate towards environmental studies will be discussed. The scope of the subject, that is what we can get out of from studying this subject, and the importance of this subject for the students and for the mankind in general. And lastly, one of the important topics of environmental studies will be discussed, that is the concept of sustainable development and sustainability. Now, what is the aim of this video lecture? Firstly, it is an introduction to the concept of environment, the things we should know, we should be aware, and the skills we should develop, the knowledge we should acquire so that we can protect this environment. Then, what is the importance of studying this course? What we can know from it, what we can achieve after studying this. Then, the need for the concept of sustainable development on this planet Earth will be discussed. Now, our environment. What do we know about it? It is the surroundings we live. It comprises of all the living, non-living objects, the ecosystems which are comprising in this environment, and the biosphere which we thrive. So, in general, environment is about the living organisms, the non-living objects, and the physical environment and all the interrelations in between them. Now, this environment has lots of problems. We have an environment gifted to us, but our activities is slowly turning it to be something different. This you can see the industries. The Industrial Revolution was the hallmark of setting up of industries across the globe. The developing countries are catching up with the developed countries, but with that we are also depositing toxic waste in this environment. This is the waste disposal scenario. The landfills, which are never well maintained, especially in developing country like ours. This is the vehicular pollution, which are infusing our lungs with toxic gases. This is the discharges we are giving in our rivers. This is the oil spill in the oceans. And this is the plastics which are being dumped into the oceans. And this slide is a very crucial thing. This is about the climate change, the melting of the glaciers, the melting of the ice sheets, and the conditions of the animals living in those areas. And this is one of the recent pictures. With this current pandemic, one thing is being used is the polymers, which we really need for our protection, the masks, the gloves. But do we care where they are being deposited, where they are going? So this is another grave problem which the world will face in the coming days. So these problems give us the impetus to know more about the environment. From where do we start? From where do we know about this environment? There were authors who have been given us this path long back. For example, Aldo Leopold. He was a renowned ecologist in the 1940s. His book, A Sand County Almanac, is one of the pioneers in this field of studying about ecology. Then came in 1962 the Game Changer book, that is The Silent Spring by Rachel Carson. This ecologist showed the world the ill effects of DDT and was a prophetic book at that time. And this book is close to our home, that is by our famous environmentalist and ecologist Dr. Madhav Gadgil. So these authors, these scientists, these pioneers have shown us why we need to study of the environment and its requirement to be included in the curriculum. So now, who are going to study these environmental studies? What fields are required? Actually, it is a multidisciplinary subject in itself. All the fields from the sciences, from the humanities amalgamate in it. We need to know about a lot of topics. If you are from different streams, for example, if you are doing any engineering course, you are doing any science course, but the basic knowledge of environment is required by everyone. And in future, if you want to work specifically for the field of environment, you can come from any which field. You can give your expertise. So this subject is for everyone. Now coming to the course, what does it deal with? As spoken earlier, it deals with every issue that affects an organism. It is also the understanding how this world works, what are the impacts we have, how we are affecting the nature, and the nature we are building will be affecting us. So environmental studies will give us the knowledge to know about the environment, to know how it works. It will give us the skills, the attitude to address the issues related to the environment. It will give us the awareness of the various issues, the need to act from the top level, that is from the policy making level to the grassroots level. And it will ensure that in every environmental problem or issue, we have active participation from every strata of the society. Now coming to the scope of environmental studies, what can we do after studying this course? Yes, it is good for our knowledge and everything, but you can also have it as a career option. You can be from an engineering stream, you can basic sciences, humanities, and you can still have a lot of career opportunities in front of you. Firstly, you can be an environmental scientist. You can be an environmental engineer, you can work in the renewable energy sector, and many industries related to it. You can be an environmental auditor. That is a very important occupation you can have. All these industries which are you can see around us, they need to be audited. So the government needs to see whether they are complying the rules. And for that, environmental auditors are very important. Then you can be an environmental activist. You can start startups, you can start online campaigns, you can be a part of this global change, and you can run NGOs by studying about this environment. And of course, you can be a teacher. A teacher's primary duty is to impart the knowledge, and this profession is always there for everyone. Now, let's go to some quizzes. Let us assume you are aware, you know about general knowledge. So can you recognize these eminent personalities? I will give you some time. Okay, now coming up with the answer. She is the lady behind the Silent Spring, Rachel Carson, who showed the world why we need to study about the environment. He is the famous ecologist from Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, Dr. Madhav Gadgil. She is Sunita Narayan. She is an environmentalist, a very prominent face in India regarding environmental issues, and she was one of the voices regarding the groundwater contamination and food contamination of pesticides. And this young lady is the recent phenomena in the field of environmental activism, that is Greta Thunberg. I assume that you all know well about her. So after going through all these topics, now coming to the importance of environmental studies. It is now very well known why we need it, because we have so many problems plaguing this planet. Starting with energy needs, global climate change, toxic emission, waste disposal, increase in population, and these problems needs to be addressed, these issues needs to be sought out, new technologies needs to be invented. So that is why environmental studies is required for awareness, for your knowledge, for modulating your lifestyle activities, and for inventions. So all these important issues will be dealt throughout the course so that you can get the primary building block of your life, that is your knowledge. After that, it is up to you how much aware you want to be, how much you want to contribute to this field, and in what capacity. Now coming to the concept of sustainability. This is the famous line from the Brundtland Commission of 1987. What does it mean? Just go through the sentence. Meeting the needs of the present generation without compromising the ability of future generation to meet their own needs. What does it mean? It means that whatever this present generation has, it's not its own. It has been given by its forefathers. And when this generation leaves, it needs to keep certain things for the future generation. For example, fossil fuel. We inherited it. But are we keeping enough for the future generations? No. Next thing, we are using fossil fuels. What air are we leaving? Very toxic. We are having elevated levels of greenhouse gases. Climate is changing. So this planet we will be living for our future generation. So that is where the concept of sustainability comes, where we need to be responsible of our actions. Our society needs to thrive, our civilization needs to thrive, economy needs to flourish, but our ecological balance should be maintained so that this planet is kept as it is, the way we got it for our future generation. This is the concept of sustainability, and it is very important for everyone to realize. Everyone, every individual, every student, every person needs to be aware of this sustainability, because the lifestyles we are choosing, the activities we are doing from the government level to the common people level, everything should be sustainable. Now, what is sustainable? Anything which is socially acceptable, economically viable, and it is environment friendly is sustainable. We cannot stall the development. We need sustainable development, but we need to go in tandem with economy and society. And the environment needs to be protected. So environment, what we have, is there in the planet, all its parameters, all its ecosystems, all the living organisms, from the tiniest ants to the animals like elephants, everything, every organism should be there. We cannot lead other species to extinction due to habitat loss by our developmental activities. We need to protect their environment. We need to protect the people dwelling there. Economy. Now, we do need economy for our progress, for our well-being, and to support this large population. But building the economy should not come as the cost of the environment. For example, you all know, for locomotion purpose, we have trains, but they are running through elephant corridors. The elephants are getting hit by the trains, and their habitat is in danger. So such economic activities is affecting the environment and endangering other species. We do not need that kind of activities. And society. So whatever the environment and the economy both needs to be protected for the sake of the society, for the human beings to thrive, for everyone to get the basic benefits. So what do? We need to find a common ground. The environment and the economy should merge. This area in between is what is known as the viable part. The society and the economy part is equitable portion. The environment and the society where it is merging is the bearable portion. And in between, this triangle is sustainable. So that is the place we need to find in every activity we do. So summarizing what is sustainable development, here are the few lines which you can go through so that you can get a whole view of this definition. And this is a video which is very important.
But what exactly is sustainable development, and how does it affect us? Sustainable development is development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. But what does that mean? Everyone understands the need to grow their economies, but not everyone takes into account the negatives that unbalanced economic growth can have on the environment and on people's well-being. It's time to change that by looking at the world in a different way. The Sustainable Development Goals will help us to do that. Sustainable development is about the big picture. It's about improving the lives of everyone, everywhere, and achieving all these things together. But it's also about the details. That means we want economies to grow, companies to thrive, and people to have decent work. We want to create new, innovative technologies, but not by harming the environment. We want everyone to have access to nutritious food regardless of where they live. We want affordable and quality education for everybody, not just a few. We want freedom of speech, but we don't want that to mean violence. But how can we achieve all of this, and where do we even start? Well, the 17 goals will mean member states, alongside civil society stakeholders and major groups, will be working together for the next 15 years, looking at ways we can do business differently so that everyone gains. With these 17 global goals as our guide, we can achieve sustainable development and live in a world where people and planet benefit. But we have to act now. This is the time for global action.
So now, here's a short quiz. I will give you certain images. Just identify which one depicts sustainable development. This third picture is, you can see this is a wildlife bridge. Here a road construction has taken place, but the passage for the wildlife to move about is maintained. So this picture truly signifies sustainable development. For example, previously I was talking about the elephant corridors being hampered due to the railway tracks. This is also a similar thing. Here the road is being built in between the forest. It is from USA, but they are building wildlife bridges. So this is what we can say is truly a picture which depicts sustainable development. So to summarize this video, what we have known from this introductory lecture is that the importance of the knowledge of the environment, the studying about this subject, and the relevance of the concept of sustainability and sustainable development in our lives. Thank you. And here I will give you some questions to figure out at home. And these are the video sources we have used. Thank you very much.